Hi, Ben Constable with you from Sparx Systems. This is the first of a two-part series in which I'll show you how to deliver customized Word and PDF documents using Enterprise Architect's report generator. Of course, EA gives you a nice set of report templates out of the box, so you can easily generate documents from your model without doing extra work. But if you need to produce a document with a different format than the built-in report templates provide, you'll need to know how to make your own templates. That's what this webinar is all about. In this first session, we'll cover the basics, so I'll teach you how to make templates for the cover page of your custom document, a table of contents, and the body of the document. In the next webinar, I'll explore some advanced concepts like defining your own style sheets, making custom queries, and controlling the document structure with virtual documents. My goal is to make Enterprise Architect automatically generate a document like this from my model using some report templates. This sample is a data dictionary for an ArcGIS geodatabase, so it contains tables of information about the classes, their fields, and relationships that make up a geodatabase schema. But maybe you're a business analyst working on a requirements specification, or a test engineer wanting to automatically create test management reports. Or you might work in another of the numerous roles that EA supports. Well, that's fine. The techniques I'll show you today are just as applicable to other reporting needs. This document sample is useful because it includes common things you'll likely want in your own reports. In fact, I derived the body of this document from an example kindly provided by an Enterprise Architect user, Pete Veenstra, who works on the ArcGIS Pipeline Data Model, or APDM. As you'll see, this example is complex enough to exercise many aspects of EA's report generator. The format happens to be DocX, but PDF and rich text formats are supported too. So we're looking at a document in landscape format. It starts with a cover page that includes some graphics and a logo. Then a table of contents, some diagrams from the model, and each class is listed by name, followed by its notes. Relevant properties of the class are neatly tabulated, with cross-references we can click on and jump to. Likewise, for the class relationships and attributes, both neatly tabulated. Certain kinds of class elements are reported in a different format. Take, for example, classes stereotyped as coded value domains. The information for those is much simpler, so we'll need to swap in alternative templates for different kinds of element within the same report. Well, how do we make report templates in EA that match this document? Let's start by creating our cover page template, and EA gives you a dedicated template type for this purpose. Now I like to create and manage my templates using the resources tree available from the project menu. It lets me organize my custom templates under the document generation folder. Right-click User Templates, create template, and name it appropriately. Tell EA to treat this as a cover page by choosing that option from the template type. I'll get a head start by copying the system-provided cover page in landscape format. Finally, I'll create a new folder to keep all my data dictionary templates together, including this cover page. Here's the cover page EA created. For this example, it's almost good enough as is. Notice some of the template fields used. For example, report title will insert the name of this template into the generated cover page. The report name field will insert the name of the package we report on. Now I'll change the color of those fields to match my target document. Highlight the text, use the toolbar to change the color, either pick a predefined color or type the values if you know them. You might want to update the images. For example, you'd swap in your own corporate logo, just here. Or you might include some nice cover page graphics. As an example, let's place an image in the top left corner. We're inside a table just here, so I'll make a separate cell for the image. Right-click to invoke the table menu, then choose the option to split cells. Now put the text back on the right side there. Now to insert our image, we can just drag and drop it from the file system. And reposition it as needed. I'm finished editing the cover page, so I'll save those changes. Now I recommend frequently testing your templates as you develop them. So let's find out, what does our cover page look like in a generated document? To generate a document from EA, I need a starting package. That's the input to the document generator. So whatever my chosen package contains in the way of elements, diagrams, etc., that's what my templates will act on. So here's the package I want to create a data dictionary from. I select it in the project browser, then choose Documentation, Generate Documentation. Now this is your window into EA's document generator. It tells me I'm generating a package named Smart Meter Geodatabase, and I'll assign a different name for the generated file. I can choose a template to generate the body of the document. Well, I haven't made my own yet, so for now I'll use one of EA's built-in templates. Model report will do. Just forget the table of contents and the style sheet options for now. But here's what I'm really interested in, my new cover page template. So I select it and generate my Word document. And here's the result. Just what I wanted. The cover page looks just like my target document. Next up, let's include a table of contents. Adding a dedicated template for a table of contents is straightforward. Again, from the Resources view, right-click, Create, and name the template. Mark it as a table of contents, and copy the existing system template, and store it in your templates group. By the way, I corrected my folder name just here to show that it's for all ArcGIS templates, not just the cover page. Now for our new table of contents template, there's not much else to do. Generating a landscape document though, you might want to have the table of contents with 2 columns. That's easy to arrange. Just right-click, choose Edit, Edit Section, and set the number of columns there to 2, and maybe put a line between the columns to separate them. You might adjust the page margins as well. Right-click, choose File, Page Layout, and adjust your margins. With our table of contents template complete, we should use it in generating a document and check it's what we expect. You'll regenerate your document frequently when developing templates, so there's a neat way to save and reuse your document generation options, the report specification element. It represents a document you want to generate from the model, along with the package it documents, the chosen template, target file path, etc. Let me illustrate by creating a documentation diagram. The report specification element is in the documentation toolbox, so drop one on the diagram and name it to reflect the kind of report you're generating. Double-clicking the element displays the document properties, first letting you choose the package to document. Now here are the same document generation options as before, but this time my selections will be remembered and stored with the report specification. So you can create lots of these report specification elements if you like, each one with slightly different document options. Now choose our new table of contents template, along with that cover page template we made earlier, and generate. Here's what we wanted to see, our 2-column table of contents. By the way, here's a little tip if you want hyperlinked table of contents entries. In Microsoft Word, right-click the table of contents, choose Edit Field, Table of Contents, use hyperlinks, then replace the table, and now you can click to jump to the section of the document. Now going back to the body of our target document, after the table of contents, we want each package documented in the same order as the model tree. For each package, we document its subpackages, then diagrams, and finally its classes. Each page has a header and a footer with the page count. Let's start with the top-level template and just deal with the packages and diagrams first. I used the resources tree to create a top-level template, and I'll name it ArcGIS Data Dictionary. This time I start with a blank template and put it in our templates folder. Remember, we want the document in landscape format, so set that option before designing the template further. Right-click, Edit Section, Landscape. I'll set the page margins again. Setting the margins at this top-level template means any other templates it uses will assume the same margins. Now I need a page header, so edit the header and footer section. Right-click, Edit, Edit Page Header Footer, and I'll simply paste in a copy of the header. Now for the footer, and what about displaying the page number in the footer? It's easy. Right-click, Insert, Page Number. Similarly for the page count. Of course, the document generator will insert the appropriate numbers for each page just here. Now for the model content, starting with the packages. You insert parts of the model into the template via the sections tree here. I want to report the package info, so I click the package section. Now I can add specific fields from package elements. First, the package name. Right-click and choose Insert Field. Name. EA inserts this package.name text for me in curly braces, a placeholder that the generator will overwrite with the actual package name when I generate the document. Now I want each package name to become a top-level heading, so I use the Style drop-down list to choose Heading 1. Now the section numbering is added because the default style sheet says headings should be numbered. I'll discuss how to edit style sheets in the next webinar. For now, just be aware you can choose alternative style sheets. For example, I added my own style sheet for ArcGIS reports. I can select that in this template here. Just right-click, choose File, Update Styles, and select my Data Dictionary style sheet. Now you're seeing how the heading will look in the generated document with my Data Dictionary style sheet applied. But this is just a preview. I actually choose the document style sheet later at generation time. After the package's name, I want to display its notes. So I just insert this new line, right-click, insert the notes field. Next, I want to document diagrams that belong to a package, so I add the Diagrams section. I insert the diagram name as a second-level heading. Then the diagram's image centered on the next line. Next, I need to document class elements, so move to the end of the diagram section, then click Element from the Sections tree. In this kind of model, we don't have nested or child classes, so just uncheck that subsection. I'll also put each package on its own page, simply by inserting a page break before the Child Packages section. I have two distinct kinds of class that I want to document quite differently: feature classes and coded value domains. Both are class elements but have different stereotypes, so it'd be nice if VA dynamically switched to a different template depending on what type of class it encounters. That's where template selectors and template fragments come in handy. Template fragments let you extract the relevant info for each kind of element. Template selectors, which are actually a special kind of fragment, let you call a different template depending on the type or stereotype of an element. First, I'll create the template selector. Enable the Custom section. Then specify that this is a template selector using the Document Options toolbar icon. Under the Custom Query tab, choose Template Selector. Then enumerate the element types along with a template we want to use. For example, to specify a template for class elements stereotyped coded value domain, type class, then colon, then the stereotype coded value domain. Then name the desired template, which I'll create shortly. If you omit the stereotype, that entry becomes the default template for any element of that type. For example, I don't care what stereotype our feature classes or table classes have, since we'll document them all using the same template. So just type class for the element type, skip the stereotype, and name the template. Now I'll create the two template fragments, one for feature classes and tables, the other for domains. Just rename that template selector a bit better. Now to use our template selector, simply drag it from the resources tree onto the relevant template. Now to document our class properties. First, look again at my target document. Here's what I'm trying to replicate with EA's templates. For each class element, write its name as a level 3 heading, followed by its notes, then some of its properties in a table. Back in EA, you saw me create this blank template fragment for classes just before. So in the template, I add the elements section and remove child classes which aren't used in these data models. I then add name and notes and make it landscape like I did for packages. Our target document listed some class properties inside a table consisting of 2 columns and 5 rows. You'll likely need tables in your own generated documents, so here's how to do it. In our template, right-click, choose Table, Insert Table. The first row is the heading. So merge the cells in that row. And flag it as a header, so if it spans multiple pages in the generated document, the table that is, the heading row will be repeated at the top of each page. Now set your cell widths. and your row heights, the heading cell color, and the heading font. Now your border widths and colors. And we're just about done. Now add the fields associated with each cell, such as the element stereotype here. For the rest, I'll call out the template fragments that populate each cell via custom queries. We'll talk more about those in the next session. My model is now ready with a complete set of data dictionary templates. Let's regenerate the document using our report specification. Choose our new top-level data dictionary template. And by the way, if you want to produce a PDF document instead, that's easy. Either export it from Word or tell EA to create a PDF with this option just here. Now let's generate the document. So EA's virtually replicated my target document using the templates. My cover page here and table of contents, which you may need to update to get the styles applied correctly, like so. My packages and their diagrams, the classes and their details as well, nicely tabulated. So far, I've shown you the basic process for creating a set of report templates to generate a detailed technical document. You can apply this process when creating templates for your own custom documentation. Firstly, use the resources tree to organize your templates. Create dedicated templates for your cover page and table of contents. Then make one top-level template that iterates over your main package and its sub-packages. Then progressively add template fragments to handle various details in your document. Finally, try to generate samples as you go to make sure your templates match your target document. So by investing some time in making a set of report templates, Enterprise Architect 11 can save you hours of manually typing out your model data. Instead, you can auto-generate professional documentation in a few mouse clicks. Well now, what if your target document structure differs significantly from that of the project browser? Or what if some model data you need isn't available from EA's built-in report fields? Can you write your own queries to retrieve that data? And if your reports need to match a particular company standard, how would you define a style sheet to achieve that? We'll address those questions in our next webinar.